everyone, I'm Kenneth of the Video Boys. There's an old idea in film that the first film in a series is automatically the best. I'm here to present a group of 10 films or film pairings in order of release that outdo their predecessors in almost every conceivable way. This means I'll be excluding the more competitive and debated ones, like comparing Aliens to Alien, or The Two Towers to The Fellowship of the Ring, or Godfather Part 2 to The Godfather. So, let's jump right in. Number 1. From Russia with Love and Goldfinger. Dr. No got the iconic James Bond series to a great start with its out-of-this-world approach to old-school espionage. These two films upped the ante by including more enthralling plots and a faster pace, and all of the little quirks and trinkets that most audiences have come to associate with Bond. You'd be hard-pressed to find a hardcore Bond fan who doesn't place one of these in their list of favorite Bond films.
You won't be needing this, old man.
Number 2. For a Few Dollars More and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Legendary director Sergio Leone doesn't only deserve credit for inspiring many of the great modern directors of our day, including Quentin Tarantino, Stanley Kubrick, and Steven Spielberg, but he should also be recognized for giving us a series of films in his Dollars trilogy where each subsequent film is better than the last. That's probably because the success of each film ensured a bigger budget for the next. Audiences were introduced to Clint Eastwood's gunslinging badass, the man with no name, who ironically has a name in all three films, in A Fistful of Dollars. We don't really get into the world of this Visionaire's spaghetti western until we get to A Few Dollars More, where the characters are given more depth, the gunfights are more badass, and the visuals are more breathtaking. Then, with The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, all of the above is true with an increase in scope to incorporate the exciting Civil War setting and Eli Wallach tossed in for good measure.
You know who you are? Huh? Huh? Want to know whose son you are? You don't, I do, everybody does. You're the son of 1,000 fathers, all bastards like you. And your mother, she's, you bastard!
Number 3. The Empire Strikes Back. Now we take a leap from the 60s to the 80s, with a film that has an ending that audiences talk about to this very day.
No, I am your father.
This second step in the Star Wars trilogy, that is the good trilogy, took everything great about the first film and upped it. The philosophy was deeper, the space battles were more intense, and we're given a better look into the characters we got to know 3 years earlier. Luke's journey from rebel pilot to potential heir of the Empire is really compelling. Add to that all the amazing quotes.
No, try not. Do. Or do not. There is no try.
I don't believe it.
That is why you fail. It's for me.
What? Why, you stuck-up, half-witted, scruffy-looking nerf herder.
Who's scruffy-looking?
Whether you consider this series to have 3 films or 6, you have to place this film at number 1. Number 4. The Road Warrior. Mad Max was Mel Gibson's debut as the gun-toting cop, Mad Max. That film was a decent B-level revenge action film, and that's about all one can really say about it. It was supposed to be post-apocalyptic, but we don't really get a sense for that. It was supposed to be a revenge movie, but the revenge doesn't come until the last 15 minutes or so. The Road Warrior fixes all of that. We're given a real sense of a desolated world ravaged by war, where people have to fight to survive. We see the breakdown of society, what's needed for survival, and a whole lot of Max kicking ass. Car chase after car chase, explosion after explosion, wacky character after wacky character. The Road Warrior takes everything from Mad Max and dials it up to 11.
Just walk away. I will give you safe passage in Wasteland. Just walk away, and there will be an end to the horror.
Just walk away. You can put a stop to all this. Just walk away, and we will spare your lives. Just walk away.
He's pretty good.
Number 5. The Wrath of Khan. Admittedly, it's not too hard to improve on the pretentious bore fest that was Star Trek the Motionless Picture, but Wrath of Khan took everything great about the show and elevated it to a story worthy of the silver screen. Ricardo Montalban gave us one of the most iconic villain performances playing the genetically enhanced Khan Noonien Singh, who squares off against the Captain Kirk who has to deal with being past his prime. It's great David and Goliath type stuff. Add to this a suspenseful space battle, a tragic sacrifice, and some literary references, and you get a space opera that sits comfortably among the great sci-fi films, Star Trek or not.
Buried alive.
Number 6. Terminator 2 Judgment Day. The Terminator is the delightful 80s action sci-fi film that put James Cameron on the map. It was exciting, its effects were groundbreaking for the time, it does a remarkable amount for such a low budget, and it introduced one of cinema's most memorable villains. Everything great in the first film goes double for the second, which many, including Matt, consider to be a perfect action movie. The simple survivor story of the first is given a layer of depth and an increase in stakes when our main characters deal with an impending future war. The visuals are great, the action is even more intense, and we're given an even more memorable villain with the T-1000.
Say, that's a nice bike.
Number 7. X2, X-Men United. Bryan Singer's X-Men went a long way to putting superhero movies on the map, especially after the schlockfest that was Batman and Robin. We got to see our favorite mutants kicking butt. With X2 we get even more mutants kicking butt. The opening scene with Nightcrawler's attack on the White House puts us in the middle of the action, and the intensity doesn't let up until the end. From the amazing escape scene by Magneto to the noble sacrifice at the end, the film gives us almost everything an X-Men fan would want, aside from even more mutants.
Never trust a beautiful woman, especially one who's interested in you.
Number 8. The Return of the King. One word comes to mind when it comes to this film. Battles. Specifically the battle for the survival of Middle-earth. All of the emotion and drama by this vast array of characters, played by this brilliant cast, comes to its apex with this film. Peter Jackson's amazing handling of the most story threads he's had to handle in the trilogy, and the fact that they shift between the epic and the intimate, elevates not only this film, but the entire trilogy as a whole. It should also be noted that this film is the third film in history to have won a whopping 11 Academy Awards. Not bad.
Let's just have his head and be done with it.
No.
Number 9. Spider-Man 2. I've said time and again that Spider-Man stories are not about fighting the bad guys, but about how fighting the bad guys and just being a hero affects Peter's life. By building off of the story established in the first film, the drama that is Peter Parker's life is at the forefront of this story. For an in-depth reason for why I like this movie, you can watch my full review via the link below. But to sum up, drama and train battle equals awesome.
Spider-Man did that for Henry, and he wonders where he's gone. He needs him.
Number 10. The Dark Knight. Do I seriously need to say anything about this film? Christopher Nolan moves beyond the dramatic but straightforward origin story of Batman Begins and creates a dense crime drama story that ups the stakes for both Batman and the soul of Gotham City. This story successfully weaves multiple storylines and characters and brings them to their satisfying conclusion. The rise and fall of Harvey Dent is an enthralling story, the mob war in Gotham City is exciting, and last but not least, the Joker was creepy and funny all at the same time.
What do you believe in?
I believe whatever doesn't kill you simply makes you stranger.
So, that concludes my list. Honorable mention to The Silence of the Lambs simply because it wasn't written as a sequel to Manhunter, but we'll talk more about this film later. So what other sequels do you think outdid their predecessors? I appreciate your watching this video and welcome you to check out our reviews. I'm Kenneth of the Video Boys saying, take care.